Right, that's better.
Yeah, amazing banner, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, a
Really
subscriber gave me that. It's awesome, isn't it?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Ah, dude, no less than you deserve.
Right, here we go then. Today, I'm here with Mr. Voldemort from Voldemort's Guide to Warhammer for this week's podcast. And it's coming right up.
Necrons!
That'll do, yeah. Nick speaking, and welcome to this podcast. Right, I am very excited because this week's guest is the awesome Mr. Voldemort. Hello, Boulders. How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hello, Master. How are you, my mentor and brother? Has it been, Nick?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, it's totally awesome to have you here. Obviously, I've been following your channel for a very long time, almost from the very beginning. We are, of course, going to talk about your channel a lot more later. But first of all, we're going to find out about how you got into the hobby, etc. Some hobby-related questions. I can't wait to find out more about you, as I'm sure all of my viewers are. Now, if there's any possibility that you're not subscribed to Mr. Voldemort, then, of course, there is a link in the description below for his channel. So make sure you check it out if you love anything lore-related to 40k. It's mainly 40k, isn't it, that you do?
Generally, yeah.
Generally. Yeah. Then, yeah, go and check his channel out because you'll love what he does. Yeah, it's really, really awesome. Okay, so that's me out of the hot seat and you're in the hot seat. Are you ready for these very probing questions?
I'd just like to say one thing first, boss.
Yes, go for it.
As you mentioned, you were with me right from the start, and I've got to admit that I wouldn't have anything at all if it weren't for you, Nick. So all I can say is thank you so much for everything you've done for me. A constant guide over the first year, and then after that, a constant wisdom for there on in. You've been an amazing person. And I know your subscriber count doesn't show it, but the respect that the actual community have for you is a thing of wonder. So
thank you so much. That's very kind. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate that. Okay, so here we go. I'm looking forward to this, like I said, because we don't really know a lot about you, really. So we're going to find out today. Here
Fair
we go. So, how did you get into this awesome hobby of ours?
Right. I got into playing with figures by playing Dungeons and Dragons. So I got introduced to it very young by my father. He played with his sons for a short while and then let us play ourselves. Then eventually buying the figures for that, I then saw Warhammer Fantasy, it's Warhammer Battles, etc. Got into that. And then finally one day I was in, I don't know if it was the Plaza or was it the one before. It was all in London. I saw that big box of Space Marines and Space Orcs and Space Eldar, and yeah, I was in love. That was that. Excellent. So a while ago.
Yes, yeah. So have you been into the hobby the whole of that time since you first discovered it, or have you had breaks?
I did have a break for wine, women, song, university, breeding, raising kids, etc. And then I thought I'd never play again. Again, there was nothing against it, etc. I just looked at it always and thought, I don't have the money for that. And then my grandson came back from his grandmother's house for Christmas, and he had a box of Warhammer, and that was about, I think, 15 years ago. And that was that. I was back. From the first sprue we opened and put together, I was like, oh, bugger. This is going to cost me an arm and a leg. But obviously, yeah, it is the hobby.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we all know whilst it does cost money, it is an investment, I think, as well. You know,
it's not,
you've got something for it, haven't you? As well as obviously all the enjoyment. You've got your collections and stuff as well. So.
Well, I mean, again, it's the difference is, say, like you've got 6 hours. You play a game for 6 hours, you get a couple of levels, etc. Feel a small satisfaction, fantastic. You got 6 hours, you put together a squad of troops and you base paint them, and then the next morning they're there, and you're like, time well spent.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's even without just the playing. And again, you can sell it all again. Can you sell your saved games? No. Or you can, I guess, sometimes. But no, I mean, I think it's just an amazing pastime. And it's got so many different avenues to it. So, yeah. Again, it's no more expensive than weightlifting, really. If you go down to the gym every day, etc., get yourself a bottle of water, maybe a sandwich every now and again. You add all of that up over a month. You spend 3 months saving that money up, and you've got 3-4 boxes of tribes. So, yeah, it's expensive.
Exactly.
But everything is. We live in England.
Yeah.
Bloody expensive. It's horrible.
And we're not going to talk about the budget today, are we?
No,
Definitely not.
No. Sorry, absolutely correct. I wasn't leaning into politics or anything. Just a man of wine because I'm English.
I'm very interested to know what armies have you played over the years? What armies do you currently have?
It's probably easier saying what armies haven't I had. But when I kicked off, I had about 2 or 3 different armies of Space Marines. But again, you were making bog roll tanks. You got 3 boxes of that big box, 30 Marines in it. And then after you got some metal ones around the sides and you had yourself an army done. Imperial Guard. My brother played Orcs, but mainly in the first run, Eldar.
Eldar, right, okay.
Eldar, I was boss. I was brutal with Eldar, but also we played a lot of campaign games. We had massive games as well. Really good laugh in that. When I came back to it, it's been Blood Angels, Crimson Fists, Necrons, Eldar, Dark Eldar, Harlequins. It's getting worse. I've got a guard army now. I haven't played much with that yet. A Chaos army. It's ridiculous. Sorry, mate. But yeah.
What about your craft worlds for your Eldar? What did you play?
Everything generally. I mean, I never really got on with Striking Scorpions, and that's about it. The rest I played with.
Okay, so when you were playing, because they split the craft worlds up at one point, didn't they? You had like the Samhan Codex and the Iadin Codex, etc. Then obviously, it all went into one, and you just
I fight for Bhutan.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I kill
my Eldar actually is like painted the same as the Baltan, except I went for purple rather than green.
Yes, I've seen some
mine's
videos.
purple and white.
Yeah, it's very individual. And of course, you showed me the army. Oh, it's really good. My problem is I'm a gourmand, not a gourmet. So I get huge armies, put them together and say, I'll get around to painting them. And when I do paint them, I paint them to tabletop standards so I can then play them really quickly. And then I say to myself, I'll get back to them. And then I realise I'm just pants at painting. So my New Year's goal is for 2025 to finally be able to actually sit down and not building any more bloody armies, but paint them. But at the moment, I'm doing Horus Heresy. So got a huge Iron Warrior army. I just love infantry, so I've got enough to literally put in buckets and throw at the board. And I'm now starting AdMech to back them up. Well, Mechanicus. So, bit of a laugh. Sorry, mate, that's a bit long-winded.
No, okay, that's it's good to see that your hobby is so far and wide.
Yeah. But again, I just love the figures, etc. I get incredible joy from putting them together and even just owning them. So I'm a list builder, so when I've got the box, I know I can put it in my list. When it's in my list, I know I'm going to build it and play it.
Yeah.
So, one of those things.
Okay. Well, talking about hobby, so how much time do you actually get to do hobby, and also how often do you get to play?
Right, I like to try and play at least monthly. Sometimes it's 2 weekly. In previous years, it was weekly. I used to go down to the club every Wednesday and play during 8th and a lot of 9th. But again, of course, the big C hit us and we couldn't play at all. And then after that, unfortunately, I've not been playing as much at all because of get time. And unfortunately, I've got some health fatigue issues from X, Y, and Z, which means that I just don't have as much time to actually do my videos. So therefore, I don't get so much time to actually play. But what I do is instead, because I've done quite well on the channel and my beautiful patrons, I've got a slightly larger house. I've got a room and I just put my troops out and then I can just build them whenever they're there.
Right, yeah.
So I get in minutes here, hours there, and I just do what I can. But I'm hoping, say, in January, I'll take about most of a month off. I'm going to get a lot of playing in then. Now start some campaigns and such things. So not enough. Not enough.
But I believe you've got like a pretty decent gaming like club that you go to. Is that right?
Yes. You must come and play there, my friend. I demand it. Oh, sorry, request.
No, I definitely will. I think it'd be great to come and play with you guys. Yeah. Obviously, I don't have a local club, or at least I think there is a club on, but it's on a day that I work because I work the weekend, so that doesn't help. Yeah.
I know exactly how you feel. Sometimes on a Wednesday these days, I'm just like, I would love to go down the club, but I just can't be asked. I'm too tired. So yeah, I know what you mean. So having the ability to play at home is just great, and I do that get people to come over. Yeah, but I do play. Yeah.
So obviously you have played quite a lot over the years. So I'm very interested in one of your favourite wargaming stories. Anything exciting happen?
I'm going to say just two very, very quickly because I've got millions. But in my first group, when I was playing Eldar a lot, in those days you could do things like pick a demon, put all of your points into them, and then after that roll randomly on tables to get different troops. And you get an entourage and stuff like that. We were playing against one of Chaos Army that were doing that, and I was quite brutal in those days, and I arranged our army in such a way we only needed moderate luck to do what we did. We blew his demon away in the first round, and then it got so bad that they were putting troops on at the end of each round, and we're like, no, it's over. We then rolled on the one wound our guy got, and one of our elves got shot in the left knee. That was number one. So that was quite fun. But again, the in the recent times, I was playing this Necron player, and it seemed that his leader had come out into the centre of the board.
I know where you're going with this.
He was larging it at me. I was like, no, I'm not having this. So I charged Mephiston straight towards him to fight mano a mano, and he shot me in the back. It's
funny you said that because I like to come up with my own wargaming stories, and one of my stories was going to be that I had the honour to play you, and you were playing your Blood Angels, and I had my Necrons. I believe it was the Nightbringer that I had.
Yeah.
And we were positioning the Nightbringer and Mephiston to have this big fight off. And then I accidentally, and it genuinely was accidental, I accidentally shot Mephiston with a Doomstalker and killed him. And I just spoiled the fun. And I'll be honest, I felt really bad after that. Really, really bad. So apologies for that again.
It was so Necrons.
I literally just forgot that we were going to have this little like fight off, and I just went about my business. I thought, Doomstalker into Mephiston. Oh, he's dead. And then I realised.
But it gave me a fantastic short, and it was one of my most treasured moments recently. It was funny as. Well done, mate. You got me. Go on. He shot me in the back. Yeah. That was a great game as well. There you go. Playing against you is always a good laugh.
Yeah, I'm glad you think so. We've how many times have we played? Is it just the once, right?
Oh God, no.
Or did we play twice? I think it was just once.
I think it was once then.
Because we didn't play in the Dominion War, did we?
No, we didn't, which was strange. I've never matched up. Well, again, you'll have to come down. You have to stay over one night, play a game down the club. It'd be great. You love it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously we found out about a lot of your armies. However, do you have any plans for a new army?
Yeah, at the moment I'm building Mechanicum up for Horus Heresy, and next year I'm going to dust off my Eldar and bring Tyranny back to the galaxy. Honestly, in 8th edition, I had to retire a certain list after 12 consecutive absolute wins. And I'm not usually like that. This is why I play other armies, like Iron Warriors. Doesn't matter if they die. I'll never get upset how many of you kill. Blood Angels, well, it's a tragic death. It's wonderful. But yeah, when you kill my elves, for some reason it really gets my goat up. So that's why I don't play them much. But if I can stand back just a little bit, try and enjoy it a bit more, yeah, I'm going to try and wheel out my Eldar again next year. I'm just a bit worried about 11th. Is that next year, boss? What do you think?
Probably going to be next year, I would have thought.
Yeah. I'm terrified after what they've been doing recently, but that's another podcast entirely.
Yeah, no, exactly. I must admit, I've been getting a bit of an itch for Eldar as well myself, because I was looking at some of my pictures of my conversions and stuff the other day, and I was thinking to myself, it'd be so cool just to get them on the table again.
Oh, God, just ignore all of the, secondaries and all of the rest of it. Just plonk them down and have a scrap with some orcs. Just have a laugh with it for a change, boss.
That's what I'm thinking. Obviously, I've done the Overlord rules recently, made those up. So I'm thinking that would be really good to play one of my other armies with, because it would just take the hassle of, like, the list building side of things and that. And like you say, just throw your models down and just have some fun.
Sounds like a really good idea. I did like your video on that and simplifying and doing other such things. And again, when I played Steve 06, when he popped over, we did exactly the same. We threw all of the rules out of the window and just said, right, our job is to do this, and we're going to do it. And we just got stuck in. Just had some stress-free laughs with it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it's about. Excellent. Well, it's brilliant to find out about your hobby a bit more. We are now going to have a chat about your awesome, and it is an awesome channel. It's going pretty well, isn't it? I was just having a look. You're sort of creeping up to 300,000 subscribers. However, before we talk about that, I would love to know what inspired you to actually start a YouTube channel.
Would you believe I started in Bat Reps? I'd just been made redundant. Well, I'd taken voluntary redundancy from a very long career. I was in between work, had a couple of rubbish jobs, and I thought, well, again, there's no negativity towards tournament play or match play, but I feel that it's very loud, and I felt that there's no one actually saying, well, there are many ways to play, and have a laugh with it too. It doesn't have to be so serious or competitive. So I started doing a couple of bat rips. They weren't great. I mean, they weren't awful according to the time, but they were not good. So then after that, I did some prognostications, then finally landed on lore, then I met yourself, and the rest is history. But again, I just wanted it to be shown the fun that you can have in the game and in the community and in the entire hobby. There's so many different ways of relaxing. And I just wanted to counter some of the white noise which was coming out from everyone, which seemed so really hectic. So everything's so serious. No, it's not. We're playing with little men. Come on. I'm here. I now call it an auditory foot rub. I just want to relax people, and I get to tell stories to people all day long. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Perfect life.
So at the moment, how often are you uploading?
Twice a week.
Twice a week,
A biscuit on a Wednesday, usually a heavier one on a Friday, and sometimes if I can't get it out the door early enough, a Saturday. But generally 2 a week, But again, they're not short.
No.
And
you write a lot of your own material, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Stories, etc. No one said they could. I am trying to improve in that bit, but unfortunately, as you know, boss, and you tried to explain to me all those years ago, there's so many hats that you wear. Being a master of any individual process is difficult. So everyone would like me to be a better writer. Granted. Better voice actor. Yeah, granted again. Sound tech. Yeah, granted. YouTuber. Yes. I'd love to be better at all of these things. But unfortunately, too many balls in the air at the same time.
Yeah, unless you have like a team around you.
I do not.
Yeah.
People see the subscriber count and think that I'm rolling in cash. I do well. I do really well. I'm not complaining about that. But again, I don't make the kind of money that people think a YouTuber gets. And I'm not that kind of YouTuber. And again, I'm quite happy with that. Yeah. I mean, the people who do watch my channel really enjoy it, but they wouldn't enjoy everything. So many different types of people watch my channel for different reasons. Generally sleeping, though, I believe.
And you are a full-time YouTuber, yeah? That is your actual job, yeah?
So I have been for the last 4 years, yes.
Thank you. 4 years, yeah. But that's I mean, that's good going, isn't it? Because I've seen, obviously I've been on YouTube for quite a long time now, like coming up to probably 15 years, over 15 years. And I've seen many channels come and go over the years, and quite a few of them who have actually just gone like full-time. And after a few years, just can't cut it, because it is really hard work, isn't it? Keeping it going all the time.
Yeah. I mean, when I started out, though, there were very few fish in the pond. So it was quite easy to become a big one, I guess. There were about 7 or 8 people doing lore. That was about it. And we all had our very distinctive styles, which are very, very different. And that was cool. Now there's a lot of paper. And, yeah, competition is quite rough. But it's one of those things. I mean, it's just, yeah. Again, I enjoy what I do. Yes, it can be stressful. Yes, it can be time-consuming. Yes, it can be exhausting. But it's not like doing a real job.
No,
you know, fixing people in a hospital, building a city, building a road, dealing with customers all bloody day long. I mean, that's stressful. What I do is the only stress I gain, I put on myself. And that's stupid. So, yeah, I enjoy what I do. And I'm very lucky that I've got people like yourself around to assist and to advise. And to tell me when I'm being a bit of a prat is Mrs. B. So she keeps me on the straight and narrow. But I enjoy what I do. So, I cannot thank the community enough. So I always feel guilty as I've not done enough for the community. So, yeah, it's one of those things.
I don't think so. You always give back. And I've heard, I spoke to Steve from Who Took My Dice, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
I think he said that you did a voiceover for him on something. I'm sure it was Steve, or I know you've contributed to, you know, a lot for little voiceovers and stuff, and you've done that for me on my channel obviously over the years as well. So you definitely give back, that's for sure.
Well, thanks, boss. But again, you know, it's just one of those things. I've just been lucky and worked hard. I have worked hard, but
very hard, yeah.
I've been lucky. So yeah, right face, right time, right time.
Well, no, I mean, the truth is you've got a skill. You've got a skill in writing the stories and how you do your videos. And obviously your voice is like second to none. I mean, you know, you are awesome. Your voice is just suits what we do, you know, with 40K so well.
Yeah. I mean, I used to have to try to relax people very quickly in my previous job over the phone. So, yeah, I just try and be a bit relaxing. That's just really it. But yeah, thank you. Okay.
Where did your phrase? Where did your phrase "gentle listener" come from? It's random, or
no? It's just very archaic. I suppose I've read too much Tolkien and that kind of thing, and obviously seen a bit too many Shakespearean plays when I was younger. My mum used to take me to a lot of them, so I enjoyed every single one. Again, I do not consider myself highbrow in any way, shape, or form. I would not read Shakespeare. That's crap. I would watch it though, because it's good fun. But that kind of thing. But it's just an archaic greeting that you would have that makes it sound, again, just a tiny bit different. And again, that's why I speak in the way that I do and I write in the way I do. It's just a tiny bit archaic, so you feel like you're going into a dream world. You know it's not real, you know? Yeah. So your mind can relax, and the entire way of writing is to do that, to get people to immediately go, oh, the music. Oh, he's talking in that funny way. Let's listen to some true bollocks.
And my opener of Nick speaking isn't quite as in depth as that, but it comes from my childhood with my dad. My dad used to be into hi-fi quite a lot. We went to a car boot sale when I was young, and we found these open deck tape recorders.
Cool.
Yeah. And he said, I used to have these when I was a kid. You know, we took it home and we did these recordings, and you could actually record like twice over the top of it, twice on the tape. It's pretty cool, incredible. Like 2 channels, yeah. And every time we did a recording, he used to always start with Tony speaking, because that was his name. And then and when I was doing the YouTube videos, like the first couple of, because you don't know how to start your video sometimes, so I just started it with like Nick speaking,
Yeah.
And then it just happened. Yeah, and it became my thing. So.
And a cool thing it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's so strange when you hear yourself say things. You're like, "Am I me, or is it my dad?"
Yeah. So obviously we know you work hard on your channel, but what would you say you enjoy the most about the channel?
What doing for it, or just in general?
What just gives you the most enjoyment? Is it like the writing the stories, recording them? Is it like seeing the views and comments? What do you actually like? What's the best bit about it?
The really best bit about it, if I had to put down one, I mean, this is 11 over 10.999, would be when you've written something as a hint, and like 2 years ago, because I do these ongoing stories. I mean, they're a bit of a mouthful, and again, it's a bit of a commitment if you're just coming in, and I hope they're getting better. But when someone picks on something you wrote 2 years ago, and then they're like, "Oh my God, I see it now," and you're like, "Oh,
Right.
yay!"
Yeah.
And either that, when someone actually gives me a hint or a tip that really works out better, because again, I'd say, yourself, Mrs. B, a couple of my kids, I've all helped out immensely with everything, but it's mainly community driven. So I've taken so much guidance over the first 3 years. Then after that, chugged along in the last 2, and even so, I still get advice every day on the channel. Lots of other advice, which is not so pleasant, but I think we all get that every now and again. Someone who's rather stressed out and says something very nasty, or illuminating you don't want to hear. But sometimes they can say the most incredible things. It's like, have you just thought about doing this? You're like, that'll be much better. And then after that, becoming I hope, slightly better at my trade every day.
Yeah, excellent. So, I think the long and short is basically the community, right? That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, the community.
Yeah.
So many incredible human beings in the comments of everyone's video channels, but obviously because they're mine, I love them most.
Yes, absolutely. All right, let's see what other questions we've got here. Do you have any goals for the channel? Any ultimate goals?
In an ideal world, I would like one day to be able to write something and have it fully animated.
Right, that'd be awesome, yeah.
But that costs a lot, so maybe one day, who knows?
Yeah.
But so to do something that people will go, okay, I don't care for the rest of his stuff, or I do love the rest of his stuff, it doesn't matter, but this one thing is good. You know what I mean? That one video where everyone goes like, yeah, that was good. Not the best thing in the universe, but yeah, that was good. Oh, do you remember that video, Baltimore, mate? Oh, that was really good. That's it. That's it. I just want that one video, and I would like to be able to do that one day. My problem is, it's as you know, having a life and having a job and then doing YouTube is one thing, and doing YouTube on its own is another. But they're exactly the same time-wise. It feels like you're on a train and you're going at 100 miles an hour, and if you step off for a second, you become pate across the floor. So unfortunately, people are sort of like, oh, you must have been working on this for months. No, I worked on this from Monday to Wednesday. I wrote it, I got it out the door, because it doesn't matter if someone walks up behind me with a machine gun, puts it to my head and says, if you do not put out more videos, I will shoot you in the back of the head. I can't put out any more. It takes too much time.
Yeah. So, this is it. It is like non-stop, because you'll finish a video, you'll upload it, you'll get it scheduled in, you think, I'm done. Then you think, right, what's next week?
Yeah.
And you're straight on, aren't you? Yeah, it is non-stop, literally. Yeah.
Well, my problem as well is after 500 whatever videos on lore, sometimes I'm like, what other stuff do I have to do? And for a couple of hours, I'll get really confused and start panicking. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? And then I look at my list and I'm like, about 4 years more of videos. Excellent. So, one of those things.
I think I was looking at your stats. I think you've got just over 500 videos, I think. That sounds about right. Yeah.
I'll have a quick look now. You've made me wonder. How many is it? It's Okay, oh, 592.
Well, there you go, nearly 600. Yeah.
Nearly 600 after the end.
Yeah, that's a lot of videos, isn't it? It's a lot of videos. Yeah.
Well, I used to do 3 a week before I got tired.
I've done that. I've been in fits and starts depending on what's happening in my life. I mean, I've uploaded daily at one point, but that was just like little hobby updates and stuff before I was doing like proper YouTube, as I call it.
Oh, I know, but they all take time, don't they? People say, "Oh, it's only a 5-minute video." Yeah, okay, yeah, right. And it depends on how intense the video is. It's one of those. It can take absolutely hours, as you know.
Yeah.
So that's not easy. But again, with YouTube, who knows? Again, it's so difficult to learn what it is and what to do, etc. If you want to get successful as well. Again, my priority is being able to pay my rent, and that's about it. So I'm not too worried about, oh, you should do this. I'm like, yeah, okay, like shorts, etc. It doesn't appeal to me. I don't know.
I mean, it's a hard one. It's probably not quite so extreme in your case because of the type of content that you do.
Yeah.
But from my point of view, where I obviously cover lots of different type of videos, I do painted tutorials and tactics and stuff.
Yeah.
But what I have noticed is sometimes the quick, easy videos are the ones that actually do better than the videos you put hours into.
Singing to the computer.
Yeah. I remember my best video, which is actually a short.
Yep.
I remember what happened. The Necron Codex had just come out. It wasn't the Codex actually. It was the Warhammer release, and it was talking about how reanimation protocol was going to work in.
Yes,
10th
I
edition.
remember that one.
Yeah.
She did a load of shorts in that period, explaining what the new rules would be. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were sitting like in watching telly in the evening, and my other half said, "I'm just going to pop to the next door neighbour." She walked out the door, and I thought, right, quick, let's make a short.
Yeah.
So I quickly got a couple of models out, set the camera up at a funny angle.
Yep.
And I made this short on RP. It took me about 30 seconds. Quickly, I edited it, uploaded it. She came back about 15 minutes later, and the video was up, and it was done. And it's like my most viewed video. It's got like 85,000 views.
Yeah.
I've got like nearly 200 subscribers from that one short.
That's
and
good. Bloody good, yeah.
Very, very good. But then I've spent like hours and hours and hours doing other videos. You upload it and it gets 300 views and then just dies, and you think,
Oh, no. I know exactly how you feel. Again, some of my best performing videos, whereas I just didn't give a damn. I was like, I've got to get a video out. Oh, this is a bit of fun. Why not? Bish, bash, bosh, there you go. And then after that, you spend hundreds of hours on one video slaving away, and people go like, yeah, that's nice. Oh, God. And when you put in no effort, or you don't feel that you put any effort into, suddenly skyrockets, you're like, why? By my bald, shiny head, why? But yeah, it's one of those things.
No, absolutely.
YouTube is a strange place.
I suppose the good thing about a lot of your videos, though, is very evergreen type content.
Oh.
Most of my videos, though, will go out of date quite quickly, especially tactical stuff. I mean, painting tutorials and stuff, they'll always be found. But like if I've got a video that's like 9th edition tactics, no one's going to watch that now, No, whereas obviously all your lore videos, I imagine you get a lot of views from old videos quite often.
Yeah, I could not exist on current views. It's all backpedaled views, and some of the bigger ones, like again, it's one of those things. You read out one of the I don't know, Psychic Awakening or War of the Rock with Fenris, etc., and it gets loads and loads of views. And other ones, when you've worked your ass off for original content, don't get any at all. But yeah, I mean, the thing that you hear is your job is infinitely harder than mine in some regards, because you've got to keep up to date and keep your finger on everything that's going on, like Valrak, etc. I'm like, I wouldn't do that job for all the tea in China, because it's just, that is the train which I was referring to earlier. It's just as bad. It's having to stay perpetually plugged in, watching what's going on, working it all out. Yeah, that's harder than what I do, I think.
Yeah. Or different harder.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah. Again, I've got to stop comparing. But But yeah, I just see how difficult everyone else's position is, and I think mine is just a case of time and effort.
Yeah.
So
And obviously, there's a massive difference, I think, probably between yourself and obviously a lot of other creators in that yours is a full-time job as well. So you're obviously living is on it, whereas mine's still just a hobby, and any money I get from it is just literally powered back into the hobby pretty much, So
absolutely.
It's a different kind of pressure, isn't it, as well?
I'm just so astonishingly lucky. But yes, it can get worrying, and you can do the YouTuber thing, which I was doing. I think it was in 2022. I was too wrapped up with what would be popular instead of doing what I would necessarily wanted, and I found that didn't work out for me at all. I was miserable.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things. Anything becomes a job eventually. Anything. But yeah, I really enjoy this job, so I can't complain.
No, that's good.
Again, it's lucky.
So I'm wondering, do you have any exciting video ideas that you can divulge for us today that you want to do or you've got planned for the channel?
My mouth is always bigger than the time span that I have. But I'm hoping that either in December for Christmas or possibly after a break in January, but hopefully for Christmas, I might be restarting my own campaign story at Abundance Tertius. But again, that's all down to energy, because I've been building that up for about 4 years. So it's getting to that intimidation level, whereas I haven't actually done it in a year and a half, I think it is, and I would like to get back to that. But we'll see what's happening in that regard.
Okay, I did have one extra question. It's not on the list. But I know a while ago you made a video about the squats, like a real fun video. Obviously, we've got squats back now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Have you been tempted with that army?
My son asked for an army. We were going to build it together, and unfortunately, the little bugger went out all summer. He's a uni student now, and I did not begrudge him a second of that, because he's a good lad. So we've got a Votan army sitting around. He's got some of it at uni. I've got some of it here. I'm hoping that when he has got time, even if it's when he finishes his degree, which is possible, the pull of uni days and having a couple of pints is always good. But yeah, we're definitely going to be building up the Votan army. Yeah.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, thanks for that. It's great hearing about your channel. We're going to sort of move on now to the last segment of the show, and we're going to have a chat about the 10th edition and the state of play, etc. So, should be interesting. First of all, I'd love to know what is your favourite edition out of all the editions that you've played?
Right, I only missed 3rd and 4th.
Right.
But yeah, I missed 2 whole editions, even though I was away for 15 years or something. Now, it's strange how quickly they come out. I'm almost disengaging from it because of the turnover. Now, all of them have their plus sides, of course, like old lovers. You're in love with them for a reason.
Yeah.
But for me, I really liked 8th. Now, every unit, every edition has its issues. But for me, it was streamlined. It was good. You still had a lot of control. But every unit had a purpose. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
yeah.
I found that also, as with some editions, like it's a huge tank, it looks incredibly powerful, but it's got 2 hits. No, it felt that in 8th, all of the models did what they looked like they were going to do. And I thought it had enough complexity to be really fun, enough control for you to endlessly list build, which is my problem. I love list building. This isn't to optimize, etc. It's just like, I've got 20 minutes to wait. I'll build a list. Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
So 8th for me was probably my favourite. But again, every single one of them have been great that I've played in their different ways.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Have you played much of 10th? Have you been into 10th that much?
I've got to say no. I played a bit on my birthday. We went up to Warhammer World. We had a fair few pints while playing. And again, didn't get rowdy or silly, but we had a good time. It was Beer Hammer. But I haven't enjoyed 10th because I find it too dictatorial. I can't really list build with it. What's the point? And other things which are central to me, my enjoyment, but also small irrational hatreds. This commander here, well, it can only go with this unit, and this unit. And that commander over there can only go with this unit and this unit. I'm like, bugger off. I'll put my officers where I want. If you can't actually make this game usable like this, then go back to the drawing board and stop listening and saying that this is entirely a tournament game. It's not.
No, yeah.
The amount of tournament games that go on across the planet are insignificant next to the power of the narrative. Or what should be fun games. Again, I'm not bashing tournaments. I think tournament play is amazing. But if they want to cut down the amount of game and units and all such things, well, they can put it in their tournament guides. We should be able to play any figure we've got in our collections, whenever we want, however we want, with realistic rules which are fair.
Yeah.
If they can't balance it, then they should go home and hang their heads in This is no longer a tiny cottage industry. This is a multi-million-dollar pound juggernaut. So the only thing that they are doing here is, being naughty by making them bad on purpose. Either that or they are purely incompetent and they should be firing a lot of people or retraining them. Okay, sorry it got so ferocious, but I have not enjoyed 10th.
No,
I have not.
I think I can tell. I think there are some very good things about it. I mean, the app they've done is fantastic. You know, for the app is awesome. I mean, you like list building, you must like that app. I
don't do the app. This is me again, because if I pay a subscription, or even if I don't pay a subscription to say something like Battle Scribe, I can bring up any army and make any list I like. And the foolishness of, you can't see the rules unless you've put in the code is annoying for me, because one of the reasons I have so many armies is because I used to build up armies and make lists for other people's armies and then go, this is a bit good, isn't it? And then build it up, slowly build up an army. Whereas I don't like that app because, again, you pay for the app. Okay, so I get every stat to everything. Cool, gotcha. Oh, I don't? What? I don't. I have to buy the codex and put that in too. So why am I paying you £6 a month? You're not Netflix. What are you doing? So, if you're talking about quality, it may be fantastic. But at the price point, I am not enjoying it.
No.
I think it's offensive.
Well, I don't pay for the app. I just have the free one. And obviously at the moment I'm only playing Necrons, and of course I'm always going to buy the codex regardless because it's part of my collection. And I do too, but I don't think that's very cool for people who don't have this as a job and don't have enough money. Again, what? No. I just don't get it. I don't like it. I mean, the truth is, I would buy the codex even if I had the app. And everything was on the app. I'd still buy the codex because I'd want it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just thinking of my strapped younger brethren, because it's a bit rough.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think they could probably have it all free and they would still sell a good amount of books.
Of course they would. I don't think it would affect the amount of books they would sell at all, because you don't really get the book just for the stats. You get them to refer to, but you get the pictures, you get the whole lot, you get the whole kit and caboodle. It's on your wall, you can note the law changes. And because again, not everybody has eyesight, even if they're younger, whereas they want to stare at a computer screen when they're playing the game too. Sometimes it's just great to flop the book open and go, there we go, because a lot of us spend a lot of time around computers, so a lot of us want to just smell the book.
Well, that's the other thing as well. When I get my codex, I don't want to go out gaming with it because I don't want it to get ruined. The pages get, messed up. I've dropped a codex before and dented the spine. It's like, I'm half tempted sometimes to buy two, like one just for my collection and one to have to go out and game and stuff. I know what you mean. That can be, again, I just don't see why they can't meet us halfway and offer some things. Because, most systems have all of their rules free now, or a lot of them do. And I'm not saying Games Workshop should give things away. I'm not. But they keep saying that they're just a model company. We'll give us the rules for free then. At least
the army building basics stats. Come on.
Yeah.
They could. It wouldn't
absolutely, yeah.
It wouldn't butcher their bottom line. It wouldn't. If they're really saying that £6 a month or $6 or whatever it is from everyone is affecting their bottom line, that's the kind of Pinocchio that would take multiple heads off. It's rubbish. Yeah. Anyway, moan. Again, I am an expert on bugger all.
Have you played one-page rules?
No, I haven't yet. Like a jilted lover, I'm sitting in my room weeping a bit instead, feeling really aggressive about it, and then going, no, I'll play Horus Heresy instead. But again, it's not a case of 10th is awful. Of course, I would love to play it. It's just when you are playing Horus Heresy and then you're playing 10th at the same time, sometimes you get the rules muddled. So, and again, because I've only got so much time to play at the moment, I'm playing Horus Heresy and just sticking to that one. But if I had a bit more time, you bet your ass, of course I'd be playing 10th. Yeah. Much as I whine and moan about it, of course I play. Am I going to get the starter box for 11th edition? Well, of course I am. I might whine about it, but of course I will.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's if I had a channel or not.
And I suppose there's a little bit of like Simon Cowell in this, where it's like, even bad news is good news, sort of thing.
Yeah.
If everyone's talking about and complaining or discussing the game for good and bad reasons, then everyone's talking about 40k and it's in everyone's mind, and that's got to be good for them, hasn't it?
Well, I think that's what they believe at the moment, and there are lots of elements in media who believe that any kind of advertising, as you say, any news is good news, yeah? Any advertising is good advertising, and I don't think that's true anymore. I think it's changed in the last year or two, and I think it's going to get stronger now. So there is no reason to go out of your way to pee in the face of your fan base if you want to keep making money. And there's no point either, because you can get new players in by playing different games, etc., like Age of Sigmar, etc. As much, a lot of people really like that because it's not so stodgy, etc. A lot of people like Old World because it is more stodgy for many, many reasons. And that's no insult to it because I play that too, of course. I have lots of high elves and now Bretonians as well. But, it's one of those things. I don't see why they can't just go out to please as many people as possible instead of saying, no, we can only please so many people. I'm like, well, if you just put in a tiny bit more effort, again, bring out basic rules, and then have advanced rules, and then have tournament rules. Yeah. It's only a couple more pages, really. Yeah.
And they could even do it with a deck. Obviously they're doing this yearly deck. We just had Prior Nexus. I don't know if you've seen it or played it at all. You all right?
No, I've just realised your voice is coming out of the TV and not the headphones.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. I'm
so I think they could easily bring out a card like deck to match for 40k, just for people who just don't want to play that match play,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I know they've got the Crusade thing, but again, that's match. It's not match play, but it kind of is. But then you hold stats and you build them up. Again, I'd love to play it. If I had a bit more time, I will. I'll definitely give that a go before it goes. And again, my problem is at the end of edition, when I know it's changing, I try to get in a good couple of games to just say goodbye to the edition. So I'll probably play it then. But just simplified rules. Again, not simplified as in, not simplified rules. Taking away the constraints. If I want to pay the points to have a unit with 10 Thunderhammers in it, let me.
Yeah.
It's just, if I want to play old legendary units, let me. It's not that big a deal. No. And I think, again, unfortunately, the community enforces half of this by saying, we'll only play matched play with the new models. Okay, but we're missing out a bit. But again, it's not an argument. It's just a different point of view. Again,
this is
to play match play, more power to them. I'm not here to tell anyone how to play their game. Not my game.
What I have found is there seems to be quite a lot of re-rolls in the game. So many re-rolls.
Yeah.
Richard and I played a game last week, and I admit I was videoing it at the same time, which does take a bit longer, right? And it was 2,000 points. I was playing the Necron obeisance flanks. Richard had the Speed War, I think it's called.
Good lad.
Yeah. And it's a fun game, great game. However, it took us 4 hours to play the first 2 turns. 4 hours.
Yeah. I have a personal hatred for rerolls because it's a case of like, oh my God, I've blown up your tank. Oh, I haven't. I haven't. It.
Yeah.
When can I get excited now?
Yeah.
After the 7th roll? No, I'm not sure. My problem is, it takes away the drama from the dice. And unfortunately, it's giving control back to players, etc. But in an element, I don't think they should have control. Because when you're playing Horus Heresy, yes, there are rerolls, but they're very few and far between. So, like, I might get some rerolls on my bolters when I fire them. That's it. The rest is, you can have twin linked, but again, you're getting one shot, you're rolling, re-rolling for that, but they're not like, and re-roll for this, and then re-roll for that, and then re-roll for Oath of Moment, then the moment of Oath, and then there's the second after the moment of Oath when everyone's eating their pies, re-roll, no, we've all eaten too much, we had to go to the lavatory, re-roll. Sod off. It's just too much of it.
Yeah, and it's like there's quite a few of Rich's Orc units. It's like, right, I hit on 2s, re-rolling 1s.
Yeah.
Any 6s, auto wound.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Oh, and then it comes to wound. He goes, right, these are twin linked, so I get to re-roll them.
Yeah.
So, okay. Oh, devastating wounds. It's like...
Yeah. And the problem is, no one roll has that moment. It doesn't have that moment.
No.
Because you're going to have to re-roll it again, and then they re-roll, and whatever. So for me, it takes away from the drama of the game, and it makes it more into chess. And unfortunately, that's all wonderful. But if you want to play chess, play chess.
Yeah.
Don't pretend that it's a competitive game. It can't be.
No. That's why in my my Overlord rules, I've basically changed the command re-roll stratagem. 1 dice, use it once, and that's it.
Yep.
Puts a lot. You've really got to think about when you're going to use that dice.
Absolutely.
Do I want to re-roll this damage or whatever? Yeah.
I mean, for me, the tactical nuances should be from the placement, the movement, most importantly, then target acquisition, and then after that, do you charge twice, charge once? What are you going to do here? Not in the how many rerolls can I say for this one? And things like Strands of Fate and such things are all very nice. And I see why they work. I see why people are enjoying them. I'm not attacking them. I'm just saying they're not for me because it slows down on the drama of the actual game and they make it very gamey.
Yeah.
Instead of a battle between armies. Ruingy.
Don't forget, though, this is the best edition ever. It's the edition that we want.
Of course.
as will 11th edition be. Forget that last edition we said was the best edition. This is now the best edition.
No, I'm just worried in 12th edition it would be like, right, roll your 2d6. Excellent. Right, take off 3, 4, 5. All right, take off 5 units. Yeah. It's going there. Anyway, let's hope it's not.
No. Have you ever tried playing like you go, I go, like alternate
activation?
Yeah,
no,
activation.
I've seen bolt action games played. I have considered doing it. But if I'm absolutely honest, next year I'm hoping to create my own system. So I'll be trying out all the mechanics. I understand the mechanics of a lot of different games, not all of them. And again, I'm certainly not a mathematician. So the breakdowns in numbers, etc., can sometimes I know how to do them. It's just time consuming.
Yeah.
So, but
well, a lot of the old Games Workshop games, they were alternate turns, weren't they? Ultimate goes. We played Man of War. I don't know if you've ever played that. That was like I move a ship and then shoot with it, and then you move one, then I move one. Yeah, there's a bit more. You have to put markers down and stuff so you know which ones you've moved. But yeah, it changes the game totally.
Oh God, yeah. There's lots of different ways of doing things. Like you've also got an Armageddon, it's like Apocalypse, whereas everyone fires, then you take the damage. That's something I was looking forward to trying as well. But again, I've just been such a munchkin for just playing standard Warhammer 40 or Heresy for the last 5 years. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I need to broaden my horizons a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, every different type of system is going to have its pluses and minuses.
Yeah.
For me, it's the dereliction of being able to list right and such things, which makes me spit teeth. But again, you can never please everyone.
No.
A lot of people don't want to make lists and spend time on that, and that's I totally understand it. I totally get it. You should be able to just take your figures out and make it real simple, get it on the board. Cool, got it. I just hope that they leave it as like a Warhammer 40k, streamlined, fast, the sexy version, rock and roll, and they leave us stodgies alone in Horus Heresy and don't just then to try to it worked over there, so let's do it here. No.
No.
Let us all grognards go to Horus Heresy and just dwell there and be left alone, and don't hit us with sticks of change. We don't like it.
I remember playing with my buddy in the old days, and we used to list build, but we never used to show each other our list. But then when it came to putting units into reserve, we used to always say, right, I'm going to put this elite unit is going to be in reserve, and that's all you know. It's an elite unit. This fast attack unit's going to be in reserve, and I think it made it feel like a proper battle, because you wouldn't necessarily know what's coming over the hill, would you?
No,
it's like,
you would not know what's going on, who's coming to this party. One of my favourite things used to be where you put a big divider between your armies, so you can't see what they're putting down. And that was good. And again, me and my best friend, one of my best friends who I play with, we if we're feeling like telling each other, if we're knackered, we might tell each other what we've got, so we can correct any re-rolls for each other, or like, I can't do that, you can do this. But most of the time it's just a case of like, well, this unit's in there, that's unit's in there, what have they got? You'll find out. And I love that. I love that. So he comes in and does X amount. He does what? He does it. It's just great fun. But again, that's not what tournament players like. Sorry to bash on about it. That's why I believe there should be two systems, because I should be able to play like that. Not telling anyone what the hell's in my army. But the problem is then you've got people who are not there to play for fun and will then lie about their army. But there's no way of getting rid of that. If someone who wants to be a expletive, then you can't stop that. All you can do is say, "Oh, nice game. Never happening again, mate. Bye bye." No point in arguing with someone. Just like, it was a great dance, but we're never doing it again, son.
Okay, so let's end on a positive, shall we?
Yes.
Let me see if I can find a positive question.
Oh, no. I promise not to be so grumpy. No, I mean, 10th has got a lot going for it. Again, it's just stomped on my particular toes. I think a lot of the things that they've done really work fast. Obviously, the models are now coming out, brother. Oh, mate. They are so good. God, you can't say that they're not. They are just amazing. Apart from the Sangre Guard, but we don't talk about that.
And obviously, the new Phoenix Lord's come out, hasn't it? The Fugan. That does look awesome.
Doesn't it? Great. Oh, it's just such a good model. The line's good, the pose is good, the dimensions are great. He just looks, he looks like a Phoenix Lord, as he should. I think it's one of the best models they've made in years.
I have the old metal one with the broken axe, because obviously the axe always broke off. Mine, I haven't even painted it, so axe is at his feet all of the time, as we both know, slides out. I must admit, mine isn't painted. I do have my fire dragons painted, but not. So do I. They fit in a falcon. And they commit horrible. They destroy things quickly. I love it. I remember when they first brought out the, I can't remember what it was called, battle something, where you could basically shoot and then move, or move and shoot. And you got the fire dragons out of the wave serpent, and then you could move them and then shoot them and then move them again. Something like that. I remember that. Wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. That wasn't Battle Fury. I know what you mean, though. Yes. Yeah. The ability to move up, shoot someone right in the face, and then dive back behind cover was just fantastic. I mean, 7th had so many silly things. The Yanari, when they came out, oh my god! When you kill a unit, you get to shoot again. No, and I did.
Well, Yanari were just brutal when they first came out. I had a friend that I couldn't really beat because I just couldn't roll for toffee all the way through 7th edition at all. And then I got the Yanari box, built them as quickly as possible, saw the rules, went, yeah, I don't care. Then played with the rules and went, I do care. And I mopped the floor with him. So after 2-3 years of getting my head kicked in, it was a great feeling.
Yeah.
But Yanari, I just wish they'd done more with them, that's all. And maybe they will in the future, who knows. But it all looks Corsair now, when we all always wanted Exodites. Why won't they give us Exodites? This is the thing that's always silly for me. We're giving you Corsairs. Yes, that's fantastic. But we wanted Exodites. You know we wanted Exodites. Give us Exodites. Wow. I just don't like you being happy.
That sounds about right.
But I do want you to build them out by models. So here's some Corsairs instead.
Oh dear. Oh, it's been absolutely awesome talking to you. Thanks so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
No
I'm sure my viewers have enjoyed listening to you. And just once again, a reminder to Baldermont's channel, link in the description below. So make sure you head on over and check it out. In the meantime, here are some other podcasts that you may enjoy. And we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you very much, sir.
Excellent.
Cool. Oh, that turned into a real moan fest. I'm so sorry.
No. It was really good because I didn't really go through the questions so much. We were just generally just having a good old chat, which I think will go down really well. Yeah.
I'm sorry we don't talk enough, boss, but we are mates.